The Dictionary of Real Estate Appraisal, page 36, Chapter C, Certificate of Title. Health and safety codes and is ready for commercial or residential occupancy. See also occupancy permit. Certificate of Title, a document usually given to a home buyer with the deed that states that the title to the property is believed to be clear, usually prepared by an attorney or another qualified person who has examined the abstract of title for the property. Title insurance generally provides greater protection against a cloud on title than a certificate of title. Certification. A part of an appraisal report in which the appraiser certifies that work was completed according to applicable professional and ethical standards. Certified local government. A designation given by the National Park Service to municipalities and counties that have adopted laws and regulations appropriate to protect historic resources in the community. The designation qualifies the local community to participate in some types of federal and state grant programs for preservation and also qualifies the locally designated historic properties for various types of federal and state tax and financing incentives. Certiorari. Number 1, a writ from a superior to an inferior or court officer, board, or tribunal directing that a certified record of its proceedings in a designated case be reviewed. Number 2, a means of obtaining a judicial review, for instance, of an alleged illegal or erroneous tax assessment of real property. Chain of title. A historical record of all conveyances and encumbrances affecting a property title from the time the original patent was granted. See also abstract of title. Chain store, one of a number of retail stores or shops under the same ownership and management that sell uniform merchandise and follow a uniform policy. Change, the result of the cause and effect relationship among the forces that influence real property value. Channelization, number 1, the direction of traffic flow into definite paths, accomplished with traffic markings, islands, or other means. Number 2, the straightening or deepening of a natural stream channel so that water moves faster and flooding is decreased. Characteristics. See attributes. Chemical processing facility. A facility that uses chemical properties or reactions to turn raw materials such as coal, oil, and salt into a variety of products. Processes include thermal treatment, filtering, or mixing with chemical reagents, for instance, synthetic dyes and fibers, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, synthetic rubber. Chronological age, see actual age. Circuit breaker. In property taxation, a method used in some states to provide property tax relief for the elderly and poor by rebating through income tax credits or cash payments. That portion of the taxpayer's payment that exceeds a certain percentage of his or her income usually limited to residential property taxes paid by homeowners or renters. Circuity of travel, governmental changes in traffic patterns, street closures, the relocation of streets, or changes in roadway widths that have an adverse effect on access to or from a property, making access more roundabout or indirect than it was prior to the governmental action, also termed circuity of access. Circulating capital, see current assets. Circulation pattern, the traffic pattern established in moving from one place to another on foot, by bicycle, or by car. For instance, from home to business, to or past a specific location. Page 37. Circulation system, a network of transportation modes that provides for the safe, efficient, and convenient movement of people and goods within a city or region. Circumferential highway, see beltway. City, a municipal corporation usually governed by a mayor and city council that occupies a defined area and is subject to the laws of the state or province in which it is located. City planning, the decision-making process of setting land use and development goals and policy to further the welfare of the members of a community, also called urban planning and regional planning. Civic center, a building or place where a city's principal public and cultural institutions are concentrated. Civil war, a body of private law developed from Roman law, used in Louisiana and in many countries outside the English-speaking world. See also common law. Oh, wait, it was civil law, not civil war. What the hell was I saying? Classical school, a school of economic thought that originated in England with Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, 1776, and included the writings of English economists such as David Ricardo, Thomas R. Malthus, and John Stuart Mill, as well as the French economist Jean-Baptiste Say. In the writings of the classical economists, an individual's self-interest is assumed, and a person's economic behavior is generalized to reflect principles or laws that are believed to be universally applicable. Classification, the act of segregating property into two or more classes for the application of different effective tax rates by means of one or more special property taxes, or a classified property tax system, IAAO. Classified property tax system. Number one, a system intended by law to tax various kinds of property at different effective tax rates. Thus, two different kinds of property worth the same amount of money have different tax bills. Although this could be done by applying different tax rates to different kinds of property that share a common assessment ratio, the usual approach is to apply a uniform tax rate to all properties and establish by law what the assessment ratio should be for each class of property, IAAO. Number two, loosely by extension, a set of assessment practices that has this result contrary to laws requiring uniformity, IAAO. Class life, a number of years that establishes the property class and recovery period for most types of property under the Internal Revenue Service General Depreciation System, GDS, and Alternative Depreciation System, ADS. Class of mall. For the purposes of comparison, regional shopping centers are grouped into 4 classes. A relative ranking system with designations of Class A, B, C, and D malls. In common use, the class ranking reflects the strength of anchor tenants, quality of design and materials of the improvements, and purchasing power of consumers in the market trade area. Class of office building. For the purposes of comparison, office space is grouped into 3 classes, Class A, B, and C. These classes represent a subjective quality rating of buildings, which indicates the competitive ability of each building to attract similar types of tenants. Combinations of factors such as rent, building finishes, system standards and efficiency, building amenities, location or accessibility,